Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse One here. How is everybody doing today? I hope everybody's doing well. I hope your week has gone well. I'm just going to put it out here really quickly. If we have any interruptions with the stream, just please be patient. I will get right back on. You may not get notifications. You'll just have to come to my channel and find it. But I will get right back on as soon as I possibly can. Okay, so just putting that out there right in the beginning. Um, I want to just remind because we keep having these interruptions and it's a pain in the behind. But anyway, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented show. So please be decent in the chat. Please be kind to each other. No racism, no nastiness. If you do not, then these awesome moderators that are lit up in blue will boot you out of here. All right. So we're just not going to tolerate any kind of nonsense. So, you know, that always got to say that in the beginning. Some people like it, some people don't, but it just be reminded to certain people that silliness will not be tolerated. All right. So where is the help for the average citizen? Okay, we're going to talk about a couple things with that. So he's already, Greg, let's not be pessimistic. Let's hope we don't. I hope we can get it through in one. That would be just great. That's what I want. But anyway, what was I going to say? So very, very busy before we get into the topic. It's real busy today. Got that fence all squared away. That's all done. And that was more work than I thought, which I knew it was going to be. It was just doing it. It was just really hot and it sucked and it was not fun. So what are you going to do? But it had to be done. Richard's coming in the morning, my neighbor with his tractor, and we're going to move stone and get that moved over to the spot over there for Margie's shed. Okay, so I wanted to address a couple things real quick. Okay, so I had somebody ask me, and I had mentioned, people had said, "Oh, well, how are you affording to put another shed in and buy all that stone and stuff like that?" So not that I had to explain anything, but I did, and I said, my sister paid for that stone. She also paid for her own shed. Okay, so that's just not, like I said, not that it's anybody's business, but just being clear on stuff. And so I figured I will go ahead and say that because she came to me. She was talking about down the road putting something on site, but with everything going on, she has her concerns. Hey, full of hope. Ed, I was exhausted watching you work today. Well, I'll tell you what, I got done, and I'm going to tell you what, I was smelling pretty ripe. I had to take a shower before this stream because I was not smelling too nice today. But it was really productive. Thank you so much for the donation. Very productive, and that was cool. But it was a long day. It was a very long day. But these things happen. But anyway, she had come to me and she was concerned and she wanted to get something here ASAP. So, that's why she went with the smaller shed that she did. She wanted to have some place to be able to put stuff on site. Here's the thing, and just so you guys know, if SHTF, let's say SHTF happens, and it's fall, early winter, whatever the case may be, Margie's not going to sleep in the building, okay? It wouldn't be squared away for her to sleep in the building. That would be used for storage. She would sleep in the house somewhere, either in my house or in my sister's house, my other sister's house. So, we would take care of that, but it's giving her peace of mind to be able to have something that she could run to and, have supplies on site. And that's what she was looking to do. And I'm like, and I totally get that. I totally understand that. So that's a smart thing. So that's where that's at. Okay. So anyway, let's get into this topic. Okay. So where's the help for the average American, right? So here's what I find interesting. So obviously today, the help expires for that extra $600 a week. People will not be getting, I think last week was the last check that they were going to get that extra $600. Okay. They're not getting it this week. Congress and the Senate are at loggerheads like always, right down party lines. Everybody, the the Republicans were saying, let's pass something short term to extend the benefit, to make sure that people are not going to get evicted from their homes, that they're not going to get foreclosed on, right? The Democrats rejected that. They said, no, let's make a deal. Let's sit down and make a deal. Now, that expired today. They are meeting tomorrow. So they are meeting tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So I'm hopeful that they get that squared away, because, there's a lot of people's lives at risk with this type of situation. You're talking millions and millions of people, that could be evicted from their homes, tens of millions of people that are counting on that extra money to help them get by in these crazy times. I was reading an article today, and it's like, it brings more of the human element to it, okay? There was a woman that worked, I think she was like a maid or something like that. And her daughter and her son-in-law and their two children were all living in a 2-bedroom apartment, okay? And all 3 of them were furloughed because of the virus, right? So, they're trying to make ends meet and stuff like that. The landlord, and I love this, the landlord, this was in San Francisco, California, I believe, agreed to lower their rent on a 2-bedroom apartment from like $28.50 a month down to $22.50 a month. I mean, that's insanity to me. It's insanity that rent would be that much for a 2-bedroom apartment. But what are you going to do? But anyway, they were saying, they're struggling. They're trying to, make ends meet. And again, when people are working a job and they're making a certain amount of money, you get used to that certain amount of money. I mean, that's just reality. And your spending habits happen to be in that range as well. Okay, so a lot of people are in debt up to here. They have to work forever and a day to try to get out of that debt. Now, that's a rigged system on purpose as well. Now, some people figure out what's going on, and they'll be like, we got to lower our expenses and all those type of things, and really consolidate and be smart about stuff. I mean, I'm talking even before this whole thing happened. But with this thing happening, and I think a lot of people have, and this family had as well, they had lowered their expenses. They still weren't trying to live, at that level that they were before, because the money wasn't there. So, it's just, there's a lot of stuff going on with that. But there's so many people that are hurting that need help. Now, with that being said, are there people out there taking advantage of the system? Of course there are. There always is, okay? But I don't believe that the majority of people that are struggling, that need help, are taking advantage of the system. I don't believe that, okay? One of the main reasons I believe that the economy hasn't gone completely down the toilet at this point, it's well on its way, okay, is because of this extra money people are getting each week, and they're spending it, or they're paying down debt, or whatever the case may be. It's a huge issue. It's a huge issue. But I can almost guarantee you this: if there was part of the bill where they had voted themselves in raises, it'd get passed then, because that's what they do. It is unbelievable. What they're doing. JJ says fudge numbers. Yeah, you know what? Don't see anyone with help. Well, there's a lot of people that are not getting help, and it's unfortunate. And what you got to remember too, guys. All right, so I think I mentioned this in my last stream. McDonald's is closing 200 stores, okay? Now, there's only so many people that you can transfer to a different store. Now, how much farther is it that they're going to have to drive to get to the other store or whatever? But a lot of times they just lay these people off. Sorry, you're out of a job. It's 200 stores. You look at all the other businesses that have either gone into foreclosure, liquidation foreclosure, or they are, Chapter 7 or Chapter 13. A lot of businesses are not coming back. A lot of small businesses are also having a ton of issues, okay? There's a lot going on. With Congress and the Senate not sitting down, working together to help the American people, it really pisses me off, I'll be honest with you. Because it's like, They're fat cats. They got everything all set up. I mean, this is one of the things I want you to think about this. So if I decide to, like, and I got a buddy of mine that says that I absolutely should go into politics. Okay, he said, Ed, you should absolutely go into politics. So let's say I decide to go into politics and I become a congressman from New York. Okay, let's say I do that. And I do 4 years and I say, screw this, I'm out of here. I don't ever want to do it again. But what happens is that's not how it works, okay? But let's say it was. I get a retirement for the rest of my life after only working 4 years for, with that. Those people have it set up. They get lifetime dental, medical, and of course they don't have the same medical that we have. That absolutely not. They have the best medical that there is, okay? But they get a retirement after that period of time. Also, I don't know if a lot of people know this, if you become president for the rest of your life. So let's think about Jimmy Carter. Some of you may know who he is. Some of you may not. He is still alive. He was one of our presidents. And they get lifetime security, FBI, Secret Service protection for the rest of their lives. Because, of course, I'm sure it would be a high-profile target to kidnap an ex-president. You know what I mean? But they get somebody, the peanut farmer, exactly, JJ, yep, Mr. Peanut. And if you guys remember Jimmy Carter, you got to remember Billy Carter with Billy Beer. Boy. But anyway, they get all these perks from the job. And, it's, but once they get into power, and here's the other thing that I find amazing. They get into power and they get to become a congressman or a senator or whatever the case may be. They come in there and they're not millionaires, and 9 times out of 10, by the time they leave, they're millionaires. How does that work? When they're only, they're only struggling by on what, $170,000 or $190,000 a year. I don't know how they do it. And, God bless them. They're rocks. They really are. But again, how do you become millionaires with that? So, I mean, you give any one of the rest of us 170, 180, 190 million a year. Give me that kind of money. Watch and see what happens. I'll be a millionaire on that kind of money because I'll put a lot of that money away because I don't need that kind of money. So it's amazing. It really, really, truly is amazing. Now I know Washington insider trading. Yep, there you go. That's one of the things. Hills of West Virginia just said that. Yep, that's one of the ways that they get insider information, and they will either, they get that information and they either sell or buy based on what's going on. And then that just happened just before the whole coronavirus. There was a couple of senators and congressmen that did that dumped a bunch of stock because they knew it was going to go down the toilet. So because they had that information, they were in the one of the committees. And they knew that information, so that's what they did. And that happens all the time. That absolutely happens all the time. So, it's amazing. It really, really, truly is amazing. But, we've put these people in that position, and they're helping themselves greatly all the time. And that's what's really going on. What are we at? 908 in the chat, guys. We're at 288 on the thumbs up. I'm going to ask for a thumbs up, please, to show support for the channel. Again, it really does help with the algorithms as well. And thank you ahead of time for doing that. I do appreciate that. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you do subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well, okay? I did want to say something really, really quickly. In my last stream, I recommended Fresh Out. It's a series done by an ex-con called The Big Hurt. Really, I like him. I got a lot of respect for the guy. He's trying to help people not go back to prison or not go to prison in the first place. Now, what I didn't warn a lot of people was it's very colorful language. So if you went there and you weren't expecting that kind of language, I apologize. But I think it's worth a watch. I really do. It makes a lot of sense. And if you have somebody in your lives that, your teenage kids or something like that getting in trouble and stuff like that, have them watch some of that stuff because he lived it. He was there. So, and he has a lot of people, that watch that show, and I think it's worth a watch. A lot of very, very good information, and it's a great teaching tool for your younger kids, especially if they're straying and not doing the right thing. So again, it's called Fresh Out, and he's called the Big Hurt. Yep, huge black dude. Yes, Bryce. Yeah, he's a bodybuilder, huge dude. But I'm going to tell you what, you can, even everything that he's done and the mistakes that he's made and the time that he served, you can tell he's a decent human being. And, and I just think that that's awesome. I really do. So, and he's really trying to help people. And he got a 10-year bid. I think he got 10 or 12 years is what he ended up getting. And I don't know how much of that he served, but he got himself jammed up pretty good. And, but he did his time, he got out, and, now he's trying to be a positive force for people to not go back. So, but anyway, so that's, what we got? They shouldn't let them recess until they work it out. Well, you know what, Nancy, what they're doing is back again tomorrow morning. So it's not like they're taking the weekend off and going back, because I was checking on that, okay? So not like they're taking a weekend off and starting back on Monday. They're actually going to be getting to bed together tomorrow morning, and they're going to start 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. So hopefully, they're very, very far apart on a lot of things. One of the things, and I thought this was quite interesting, Mitch McConnell, everybody knows, senator from Kentucky, staunch Republican that basically runs the Senate. Nothing goes through the Senate without his say-so. Realistically, I mean, he's the man, okay? What he is looking for in this next relief package, he wants to have, now think about this, guys. Let's think about this a second. Protection from being sued for COVID cases. So they want the government protected, all these other things protected, so that you can't sue for like 5 years because of a COVID-related stuff that's going on. Now, that's sketchy, in my opinion. That's very, very sketchy. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. It's not, that shouldn't be one of the things that is the reason why or why not that bill goes through. Okay. Yeah, right now everything is fine here. So if you're, like Harvey Black II said, if you're buffering, just refresh it, because everything else is, on my end here right now, everything is fine. So if you're having some buffering, guys, just refresh it or pop out and come back in. Okay, so, but politicians make too much money, and their terms are too long. Period. Well, you know what? Then that was Sky Dancer, Red, White, and Blue. I agree. There needs to be term limits, number one. There absolutely needs to be term limits, just like with the president. If you're the president, you get... Mike, I'm doing my live stream. Not right now, man. Wait till my stream's over, then, okay? I knew that was going to happen. But anyway, Mike's been working on their place over there. And so, I will do a video of that and show you what they've been doing in there. He's been getting some stuff done, which is good. That's all I'm going to say. But they're working on it. They're getting there. So anyway, let's see. John just got his prediction of eggs, cat quake, call from mom, and Heather sighting with a kitty, please. Well, we'll make sure that Heather comes in with one of the cats. We'll make sure we do that. She's actually, see, John, like your wish is my command, John. There she is with Miss Bell.
I was like, I should come in and do that. And then I heard him talking about it as I'm taking her on.
That's funny. So there's little Miss Heather and a little petite, tiny Bell.
Yep, she's tiny.
Yeah. Yeah, she'll be 11 in January, right?
Yeah, she's old.
Yeah, she's not. She's not old.
She's old. She's very unhealthy for a cat. So.
Well, yeah.
No projected 30-year lifespan for her.
No, she's a little portly. She likes her food. I'm not saying anything mean. You do. You like your food. I don't think she's happy. I think she wants to.
I think that she just needs to get adjusted.
What happened, Belle Belle?
You know how much strength it takes to pick up a cat that's like 20 pounds with one arm? My little noodle arms.
Do you take a bug out bag with you when you go back to campus? JJ's asking that.
I have stuff prepared, yeah.
We always have things ready. And she knows we've had mapped out routes for her to come home and which way to go. And we've talked about all those things. And because unfortunately, SHTF goes down, and I've told both of my children, and I'm always honest to a fault, I will not be coming to get you. So, you know, they're going to have to...
Nice Rockabilly shirt. Yeah, it's a Harley Davidson shirt, I believe.
There you go.
Or we got it at a Harley Davidson place, so...
David Bond said, "I hope she has a gun."
Not at school.
Not yeah, you can't.
Not at school.
You can't do that at school.
Wolfgang, I speak cat. Can I translate for you? Only wonderful things.
Can Heather carry pepper spray? Yes.
I do. Yeah.
She has that, and she also has a what is it? They call it the wand, but
like a
taser.
Yeah, stun gun.
Yeah, she has one of those as well.
And I carry it safely, so I had someone use it on me before, so I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, her and her friends tried it out on each other.
Well, it was with my ex-boyfriend's friends, because they are all stupid. So I was like, who wants me to try this on them? And they're like, me. They're guys.
And so when she was telling me that they wanted to be tased, and I said, okay, if you're going to tase these guys, this is the way you do it. I said, do not go up under the rib cage or anything like that. I said, if you're going to do it, zap them in the leg and just do it quickly.
Yeah.
And they did a video.
Yeah, it was friend me doing it to him.
Yeah, he's got a video, and she zapped him, and his leg just kicked.
He's a big dude too. He's like 6'4", like 300 pounds.
Yeah, I mean his leg just kicked.
Yeah.
But and so how shocking! I like that. It's funny. But again, and I've told her, I said, if you were in that situation, first of all, you turn this thing on and you hit it. The sound alone is going to deter most people. I'm not lying, okay? She hit somebody with that. I said, you either go up under the rib cage, you get them up underneath in this area. I said, or you get them in a groin. That's where you go, you know? So, but you do what you got to do. And the game plan is not to take them out, is to get them and then run. So, yeah, that's... He was quite shocked. I like that. That's funny.
Yeah.
Brandon just said that. That's funny. Yeah, loud crackling sound. Yes, it does, Wolfgang. Yeah, good things to have, though. But like I said, she's got the pepper spray, too. So, I mean, she could zap them and then hit them with the pepper spray. And believe me, if you've watched any of the videos of people getting hit with pepper spray, it is not a good time.
If that doesn't work, I'm fast. So I'm fast motion.
That's your fast motion?
I have a that hangs out with me. He's a big dude. He'll protect me.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Jay would absolutely. So, trying to send a super chat is delay cycling. Where would you stock kerosene in original containers for backup heaters? Oh wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me just read the rest of that.
Well, I'm going to go now.
Where would you stock up? Okay. All right, honey. I love you. Thank you for stopping in. Where would you send, kerosene containers?
You can buy from Bell as well.
All right. I'm going to tell you what I do. All right. I'm going to tell you also what I've taught my daughter. I'm going to answer that question in just 1 second, but I'm going to tell you what I've also taught my daughter. I've taught her some MMA moves on how to really hurt somebody and some other fun things that she can do. So she has had some training as well. So, she's not stupid. So she knows, but again, she's very petite. So, somebody, a big dude could, unless if they caught her by surprise, she'd be in trouble. So I always wanted her to be able to protect herself. But anyway, so where would you store kerosene? Generally, is you would want to store your gasoline and kerosene in an outbuilding someplace away from everything else, just in case. Now, I have it in my shop. That's why I have kerosene in my shop. I have gasoline in the shop. That's where I store it. Okay. That's one, a small outbuilding I have not built yet for that purpose. That will be done down the road, as well. Actually, you know what also works really well? Spencer Rebel Max. He said bear spray. What actually works as well, which you can go and you can pick it up at any of the stores, is if you get like hornet spray, the sprays that you spray and it shoots like 20 feet and into the hornet's nest. You hit somebody in the face with that spray as well. That's a good thing to have. Tasers are illegal in most states. Well, yeah, in some states they are. But you know what? I would rather have my child be able to protect themselves than be dead. So, but anyway, can you teach us those MMA moves? Well, I would. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you what. There's plenty of videos out there. To be able to that you can do. Now, I would highly recommend if you were ever attacked by somebody, there's no such thing as fair. So you bite, you pull hair, you stick a finger in somebody's eye if you have to. You do what you have to do. Bend back fingers if you can get a finger and break that finger. It's going to change a person's attitude. Really, really will. If you can hit them in the ear, if there's any way that you can hit them in the ear, it's going to mess up their equilibrium. There's a lot of, fight dirty. Exactly. I always looked at it like this, Wolfang. If I win and didn't get hurt, that's fair. There is no rules when it comes to fighting. None. So you do what you have to do. And especially as a woman fighting bigger opponents, you do what you have to do. So how much more power will you need to add to the new edition? That's a good question. We're going to be adding more batteries. So that we will definitely be doing as they get things closer to moving in time. We're going to be adding more batteries for them. Yeah. Fight to win, exactly. And like I said, everything is fair when it comes to fighting. There is no rules, and as long as you don't get hurt, and if you can hurt that other person, that you do what you got to do. And that being said, I haven't been in a fight since I was 27 years old. It was the last fight that I was in. So I try to, as I've gotten older, I try to deal with things better. Now, not always the case. I've lost my temper a few times over people being stupid. But, it never came to blows. So it's probably a good thing. But anyway, no holds barred. I like it. So now we got into fighting. I know we got into fighting. That's funny. So, but anyway, like again, if to another form of protection, like I said, wasp spray, because it shoots such a long projectile and it kills wasp. If you spray that into somebody's face and get it into their eyes, that will definitely deter them from attacking you as well. So, just something else nice to know. Yeah, the art of fighting without fighting. Well, you know what? If you can talk your way out of stuff, that's great. Again, my rule of thumb has always been this, always. And I always, my entire life, have listened to my gut, okay? If I can, I'm going to try to talk my way out of it. But if I feel like somebody may hurt me, I'm going to hurt them first. There's another thing, too, and I want you guys to remember this, too. It's not a problem to throw the first punch, ever. You do what you got to do. Vanessa Doe, thanks to you, I did my first huge purchase today. I got a great prices at a restaurant supply. My dad was mad and said I was paranoid, but he'll be happy when we need it this winter. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that you did that. You know what? People are not understanding what we're facing. And the way I look at it with buying, thank you so much for the donation. Thank you for sharing that as well. But this is the way I look at whatever you buy today, it's not going to get cheaper. It's only going to get more expensive. You're going to eat it eventually, especially if it's food that you have in your rotation. Hey, Troy, thank you very much for the donation. I appreciate that. Thank you. If you have that in your rotation and stuff you eat anyway, why not? So you stock up on it. That's good. So I'm glad to hear that you stocked up. That's awesome. Like I said, I continue to prep. I don't stop. Because, again, I know it's not just going to be me, my family, and my group. There's going to be other people that are going to need help as well. But, again, nothing is going to get cheaper. It's just like buying ammo right now, okay? You guys have gone out there and seen what the price of ammo has done. It has gone unbelievably crazy high. Okay. Ed, do you believe we're now entering an inflation as opposed to a short deflation period we just had? Oh, I think we're heading towards inflation. Absolutely, Dan G. I think things are going to get very, very much worse. I think the dollar is going to be devalued greatly. You can't just keep printing money the way that the government has, backed by nothing, and expect things to just continue to be fine. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't. So, again, you got to be smart about stuff. Well, I was talking about canning and putting stuff up. Mom, we picked a whole bunch of the green beans, and Mom took them back and was processing them and putting them in the freezer. So she started doing that today. So we've been getting a lot of green beans, which is a good thing. So hyperinflation. Well, whatever it's going to be. Like I said, we can't continue to do what we've been doing and expect things to be okay. With all these, like this next relief package, that money has to come from somewhere, and they just continue to, start. They just continue to print. More money, and that's not the answer. I'm going to tell you again. I believe it is better to have hard commodities, things that are tradable, things that will help you to survive no matter what. Again, ammo's never going to be cheaper. So go out and get as much as you can. Everything else, nothing is going to get cheaper than it is right now. So again, get out and get whatever you can get. I told you guys I was going to do it, and I did. I added more paper products. I added another 30 rolls of toilet paper because I buy them in a 30 pack. I bought the last 10 pack of Kleenex for the Wegmans brand Kleenex that they had, and they didn't even have the 12 packs of the Wegmans brand paper towels. So I ended up buying a 6-pack of other paper towels. Like I said, I just continue to do. Will we use it down the road? Yep, we sure will, no matter what. Guaranteed, down the road we'll use it no matter what. Okay. And again, the next time I go to purchase it, it may be more. So what if I have, 5 or 6 30 packs of toilet paper? So what? Who cares? Does it affect anybody else? You know what I mean? But it puts me in a position where I have peace of mind because I know, and I do believe something will happen, that when something happens, I'm going to be in a much better position, ready to deal with those situations because I've gotten ready. It just is smart. So I want you guys to think about this a second. And if tomorrow the lights went out, just went out, we had no idea everything was normal until tomorrow, and then the lights went out. You can't get to the bank, can't get to your ATM, okay, because there's no power. You can't go in and hit the ATM. There's no power. You're not going to get your money out of the bank because everything is closed, okay? How ready are you for that? So, again, keeping cash on hands, what are your thoughts on the recent alien revelations? I've always thought there was aliens anyway. The aliens go all the way back to biblical times. If you look at a lot of the things that happen or talked about in the Bible, you could actually look at that and say that could have been alien visitation. So, I mean, if you think about it, an uneducated people that didn't have the skills and the technology that even we have, and our technology isn't even close to what alien technology is. A lot of the stuff that we have now is because we've reversed engineered, okay? We've reversed engineered alien technology. People don't realize that, but that's the case. They've been around forever and a day. We're probably like ants to them because they're so far advanced more than we are. So, but yeah, I've always believed in aliens. Other people want to put different spins on it, call it different things, whatever makes you comfortable, whatever makes you comfortable, that's fine. But I'm a realist. I don't live in fantasy land. I look at a situation and I break it down, and I absolutely believe that there are other. Here's the best way to think about it, guys. It is so arrogant of human beings. Okay, now let's really rationalize this for a second. It's very arrogant of human beings to think that in all the galaxy that we're the only intelligent life out there. Okay, there's so many different planets yet undiscovered. They're finding new planets all the time. Okay, and the universe is huge. And to think that we are the only ones in this entire universe of creatures, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. It's very, very arrogant to think that they were it and that's it. So, that's just kind of my spin on it. So, that's the way I look at things. And so, I mean, my mother, she had an experience when she was a teenager. I have seen myself okay, so here's an example, and I'll just kind of give you an example. I've never been visited by aliens. Aliens have never come to me. I've never been kidnapped by aliens or anything like that. But I sit out here a lot of times at night and I watch the stars because there's no background lights. You see everything. It's absolutely gorgeous and it's beautiful. You will see things going across the sky and then turn way, way up there and make turns that are impossible to make with our technology. And so that's why I know that there's other beings out there. Because if you pay attention to it, you're going to see it. Okay? So that's just another example. My mother she saw 3 UFOs pretty low to the ground when they were younger. It was her brother, else. Scared the heck out of them and they ran home. My mother, who is a big time Christian, believes in God and all that type of stuff and does all that. She believes in aliens because she's seen it firsthand. And it was silver disc is what she saw. And that was back, I think she said it was in the 50s. So, if you think about that, it's just, phone home. That's right. But, those are, I never killed my volume. I just killed the volume now. So anyway, like I said, I believe it is real. If you don't believe it's real, that's fine. That's your prerogative. I'm not going to try to convince anybody. People are going to believe what they want to believe, and that's fine. Okay. So we'll just leave that one where that is. No judgment on my part. If you don't believe, that's perfectly fine. I see we got 1,000 people in the chat, guys. We're 490 on the thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to do that, please, to show support for the channel. And it really does help with the algorithms as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. L. Gibson, Walmart today had a large stock of giant cans of veggies and fruit. Great buy. I dehydrated. Lots of hand sanitizer in the back to school shelf. Oh, very cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. But that is absolutely awesome. Thank you very much for the donation as well, and thank you for that information. Yeah, you have to get things when you can. You have to stock up on whatever you can. If you can dehydrate stuff, guys, dehydrate stuff. It's awesome to do that. You can take bananas or whatever the case may be, make banana chips, the whole 9 yards. There's so many things that you can do. It's a really, really good thing to do. I want to talk about real quick, since we're at this point before we get into the next topic. I want to talk about my website real quick. We got the glitches that were happening fixed, preppernurse1.com. So anyway, if you go to preppernurse1.com, and we have the Prepper Nurse One community there. It's a great place to meet and connect with like-minded people. You do have to register. It is totally free to join. So somebody off the street just can't come in and see what's going on there. They have to be registered to see that. So if you go there, you register. Great message boards. There's a lot of different groups in there as well. If you're looking to connect with somebody from your state or your country, it's a great opportunity, great way to do that. So definitely please take advantage of that. There's a lot of recipes that you can have, so you can learn different recipes to use. So definitely take advantage of that, because we put that together for you guys. The other two things real quick I want to mention, we have jdega.com. The link is on my website. It's also down in the description below. It is CBD and hemp products. If you go there, make sure that if you go to their website, that when you're checking out, if you decide to make a purchase, You use the discount code PrepperNurse1, and obviously it's the number 1, not ONE, and you will get a 15% discount on anything you purchase for your CBD or hemp products, okay? So just letting you know that. Also, Legacy Freeze-Dried Foods. Good news with them. They're finally catching up on stuff. So orders that are in, they have told me that by the end of August, everybody that had a back order should have their stuff, okay? So that's the good news. Just putting that out there. There are things available right now on the website. If you go to my website, again, preppernurse1.com, they're there. You can do that as well, okay? So let's do real quick. We're going to do the egg count real quick, okay? So what is everybody's guess on the egg count today? Give you guys a minute to put them out there. All right. If you had the same guess, and I'm probably going to say your last name wrong, John Fortragler, with 11 eggs, then you are 100% correct. We had 11 eggs today. So chickens laid very well today. They weren't disturbed by me banging away and moving the fences around and stuff like that. So they were good. But yeah, the chickens had a good day. They had 11 eggs today. I think yesterday, I don't know, what did we end up yesterday? I think we only ended up with like 8 eggs yesterday. I think it was 8. So you just never know day to day, but they're pretty steady. They're they do their job. And like I said, I said the reason I think they gave me 11 eggs today, they got a lot of greens today. So who knows? I just have to keep going out there and keep checking on them all the time. And then I hear them going crazy with each other because like one's in the box that this one wants to be in. And then I'll walk in there and I'll go to check. Actually, I have 3 fake eggs, North Shore Preparedness. I have 3 fake eggs. There'll be like 3 chickens in the box. They have the 3 boxes that they like to lay in. And now, for whatever reason, it used to be the very end box was like where everybody laid their eggs in that one end box. Now they're all like congregating in this other box and laying in there. They're so funny. So, but they're fun. The chickens are a lot of fun. But anyway, so again, let's go back a little bit more on topic with everything that's going on, in that our government, congressmen and the senators, are not taking care of business and not getting a plan together. They shouldn't wait to the last minute. The reason a lot of times, and I want you to think this too, the reason a lot of times a lot of these spending bills, stimulus bills, things to help out the economy, they don't get them done to the last minute because this one, that one, and the other one want their pork in there. Okay, so what do I mean by they want their pork? They have their pet projects for their state or whatever, and so they won't give. I'll give you my vote if you push my proposal through, and that's what they'll do a lot. So a lot of these spending bills, a lot of these stimulus bills, they have all these attachments on there, and they want their protections and whatever their project is for their state. And special interest pork. Yep, exactly. RV source, special interest pork. Right. And then you got to remember, too, when you have lobbyists, and I like how they call them lobbyists, the special interest groups down there in Washington all the time, willing to help the senator or whatever, or donate to their campaign if you push through what we want, or if you bring in that legislation and try to get that legislation through. These are things that happened all the time. So again, do I think there needs to be term limits? I absolutely do. I think there should be term limits. I don't think that they should have the right to be in there for 40, 50 years. Louise Slaughter is a great example. She was from Rochester, New York. Louise Slaughter, and I don't remember how many years it was, but it was over 30. She was reelected again, and she was like 83 years old. And there's another thing, too. There should be a limit at a certain point. And let's be honest. I'm getting older myself. A lot of people are getting older. You are not as sharp as you were when you were younger. Now, there's some people. I had a gentleman that I took care of, and that's the exception rather than the rule. He was as sharp as a tack right up until he died. Very, very intelligent man. But, his body physically was falling apart around him. So you have these people that are in their 80s and 90s. I don't know if you guys remember Storm Thurmond. They used to bring him in a wheelchair. He was in his 90s. I think he was like 94 years old. Kept getting reelected. Okay. And so, and again, they kept bringing him in there, and this guy was voting, and he was like, beyond. Okay. Who knew what the real deal was? I mean, how sharp was he still at that point? You start to lose it when you get older. Not everybody. I mean, my mom will even tell you. My mom is 77 years old. She has told me, she said, I'm going to tell you right now. She goes, I'm starting to slip and I can feel it. And she goes, it's very, very frustrating. And that's got to be tough. Got to be tough. But these people, they're the same thing. They're human beings. They can't, not all of these, it's like congressmen and senators don't magically have some kind of ability to stay on the ball and stay sharp in their 90s and their late 80s and stuff like that. There needs to be a point where they say, okay, you're 80 years old, that's retirement age. So you go until you're 80, and then you have to retire. And maybe 80 is probably still too much, But you got to understand, they get in there and they get that power and all the perks that come along with it. Think about this. You're a senator, okay? This is just an example. So you're a senator. I want you to come eat at my restaurant. I got this nice restaurant, so I put out an invitation, Senator Smith, please come to my restaurant. We'll take care of you all the way. It's a perk, free meal. Because if Senator Smith comes to your restaurant, then other people are going to go, oh, Senator Smith eats at this restaurant? I want to go eat at that restaurant too. That's just business. That's just business. And that happens all the time. So should be a maximum age to run for president too. Yes, follower Jay, I agree with you as well. On that one. Because, it's like, you can tell some people are not as sharp as they should be. So, I've had nasty things said to me in the chats because I will be 70 in December. Julie Cleary just said that. Well, I'm sorry people did that, Julie. That shouldn't, that shouldn't be the way it is. People don't need to be nasty to each other. Everybody has worth, okay? So what I'm just saying is, okay, so maybe we do it this way. Think about it this way. They need to have tests of their cognitive ability once they reach a certain age and they're in politics. I think that would be the way to do it. Making sure that all their marbles are still rolling around in their head, that they don't have early onset dementia and stuff like that. Because if they're still Ruth Bader Ginsburg, right. I mean, she's 87 years old, in and out of the hospital. Her cancer's back again. They just did some bile duct surgery on her. I mean, these people need to go at a certain point. They just do. And if she can't do the job, she should be gone. I mean, why does she hang around? Why does she stay there? Because she's one of the, liberals on the bench, and she wants to make sure that she doesn't retire during a Republican's, a Republican president sitting, because he's going to put who he wants in there then. And so that's why these people will hang on and hang on and hang on, so same as bus drivers, Ed. Yeah, well, there's a lot of older bus drivers out there that in their retirement, that's what they do. So, again, if they can pass a competency test and be able to, pass that driver's license test, make sure that they're still functioning well, then they should be able to continue to drive. But Botox no longer works for Nancy. Oh, my God. What is she? She's in her 80s, isn't she? Is Nancy Pelosi in her 80s? I don't even know how old she is. I know she's been there a very, very long time. I just heard that some of the schools that reopened have tested positive for the virus. Not sure which schools, just heard it from a friend. That's Comet Moon just said that. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, I think there's going to be issues. I really, really do. I think there's going to be a lot of issues moving forward. 87? Okay, yeah, I know she's up there. Maxine Waters is another one. Oh my God, she's just... And here's what kills me. The representative for certain communities, and they don't even live in those communities. Why? Shouldn't that be like a part of the stipulation? Then maybe they would be more motivated to try to fix up those communities that they represent. That's just me. Nancy Pelosi is 80. Asif just said that. Okay. Yeah, I knew she was up there. I knew she was up there. Yep. Follower of Jay said politicians should have to pass a cognitive test before running for office. Excuse me. I agree. I agree 100% with that. That's absolutely true. So, yeah, time to homeschool. Well, I'll tell you what. It's definitely the public schools or training camps. I don't know if you guys saw this or not. I just saw there was a group of Antifa people that had been arrested. Okay, and it was showing. I don't know. It was like 15 of them, and like half of them were teachers. Teachers, the people that teach our children. These are Antifa folks out there going crazy. Just unbelievable. Oh, I don't know if you guys saw this too. There was a couple of lawsuits from a couple different groups. They were trying to stop the border wall from being continued. They wanted it hold while everything was looked at and all that. Well, the Supreme Court voted along party lines, 5-4, that the wall could continue to be built because it was like $2.5 billion that was allocated for the wall. So that's the other thing I want people to remember as well. While all this other stuff is going on, all these other distractions, it was still being built every day. Every day the wall's being built. So, that's something that I want you guys to think about. Things are going on moving forward because now they're not in the main limelight, right? All the people not wanting the wall, not wanting this and all that. That's wall's getting built. That wall's getting built. So, yeah, right. Jenny W. just said, especially now, we need a wall. South America is on fire with the virus. And you know what? It doesn't surprise me at all. Doesn't surprise me at all because, they don't have the medicine that we have up here. And even with that, look where we're at. Look at our situation with the states. It's pretty rough. Oh, and I have to say, New York State has now dropped to 4th in total number of viruses. Texas just passed us, which I knew they were going to just because of they're like in a hub of it right now. California's number 1, so congratulations to California. I believe Florida is number 2, I think. But New York is still number 1 in deaths from the virus, so at least we have that distinction. Not that that's a good distinction to have, but yeah, it's and it's. I don't know, that whole thing is that's insanity. Who knows what's going to happen moving forward with that? And there's another good reason to be ready. They can climb over the wall? No, they can't, Nancy. Not the kind of walls that they got up there. Ed, my 2 kids are going to be homeschooled this year. It's a first for us. James Osborne just said that. I don't blame you. Like I said, if I had school-age children that were younger, I would be homeschooling myself, and I'll be honest with you on that, because I would not want them in that environment with what is going on right now. It's not safe, and I think that it's not a good place for them to be at this point in time. Trump said today the wall will be completed this year, half built now. There you go, follower of Jay. Yep. But again, that's not in the limelight. Have you heard, really? I mean, if you think about it, what have you heard about the wall? Wasn't that like the big pet peeve of the Democrats? No wall, open borders, whatever the case may be. And with everything that's going on, you haven't heard squat about the wall, and it keeps being built. Yep. So it's interesting. It's interesting. So when it comes time to campaign promises actually being fulfilled, wow, there's another one that he can say that he did. Like I said, Trump is crass. He's an egomaniac. I don't contest those things at all. But I think he's got the best interest of the country at heart. And that's my opinion. I really do. I think he does. A lot of these other people do not. So Democrats want the wall open so they can get the votes. Yeah, well, that's part of it. That is absolutely part of it. But Gross Newsom said mandatory masks for California, yet Decent wall does not exist. Yeah, right. Well, and the thing is too, with everything. Oh, and I just saw this, guys, and I wanted to bring this up because I saw this. I was in talking to my sister, and they had their TV on, and I don't remember what state it was. I can't remember what state it was. Okay, but the way that they were spinning it on the news, and I thought this was interesting, and I want you guys to think about this. Now, you want to talk about Nazi Germany type of stuff going on? And I think it might have been, I don't want to say a state because I don't want to be wrong. So I'm not going to say what state it was. I don't remember what state it was, okay? But they were talking in this state, they said, if you see large parties of more than, 100 people gathering together, you can call the police and you can report that, because that's against, what they want to have happening. So it's like the Gestapo. It's like the Nazi stuff. They get people, the neighbors telling on the neighbors. That's insane. That's insane. That it's okay, rat everybody out. That not following the rules. And think about this, guys. And this is again, I always have an issue with this. Follow the rules that you've been told to comply with. Well, why are we doing certain? See, here's my thing. Okay, if the mask is so safe, if the mask is this great safe thing and is awesome, then open everything up. Make everybody wear a mask. You can't go into a business unless you have a mask on, but open everything up. If the mask is so safe and it's going to protect you, so think about that. Something to think about, just something to chew on. Mask is not safe. The mask is not safe. So, especially with the mask people are wearing. If they had proper mask on, then yeah, it might be. But nobody can afford proper masks. So, So anyway, guys, we're at 1,000 in the chat. We're at 610 on the thumbs up. I'm going to ask again if you would shoot a thumbs up, please, to show support for the channel. And thank you very much for doing that ahead of time. And again, it really does help with algorithms. So thank you again for doing that. I appreciate it. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you do subscribe. Hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. North Shore Preparedness said, Ed, that is, hold on a second, I want to read that comment. 1 second, hold on. That is the case up here, and we have 10,000 less cases per capita. Well, there you go. Yep, North Shore Preparedness just said that. Disco Don, hope you and your family stay safe, brother. What do you think personally of Alex Jones? You know what? I really don't watch Alex Jones. I think that certain people, and I'm not saying it's Alex Jones. Like I said, I really don't have an opinion one way or the other, but certain people push a fear monologue constantly. Always everything is gloom and doom. It's the end of the world. This is happening. That's happening. The other thing is happening. I don't think that that's constructive, in my opinion. If we can encourage each other to prep, to have brotherhood and sisterhood with each other, to work together, to encourage working together and realizing that we're all human beings, I think that's a smarter way to go. I'm gonna give you a great example of something, okay? And we're gonna go back to February when this whole thing happened with the virus, the breakouts here in the United States, and everybody panicked, right? Everybody panicked. So what did people do because they panicked and they were scared? Everybody went out, and like any kind of freeze-dried food company across the board were completely overwhelmed because they got more orders than they had ever gotten before. I mean, just crazy number of orders, okay? And that happened across the board, all the freeze-dried food companies. That's what happened to them. So with that happening, people, they feed into the hysteria. And it's like the run on toilet paper. Everybody went out and bought toilet paper and all those type of things, okay? But if they had been thinking ahead and paying attention to what was going on, and I hate to say that I told you so, but I basically, when I was doing videos before then, I was saying to people, get out now, get your supplies, while there's not a run on the stores, because when there becomes a run on the stores, things are going to be in short supply. And that's exactly what happened. Why? Am I some great not procrastinator? I can't think of the name of the word. I know how to. I know it in my head, but I can't say it. But anyway, I'm not. I'm not some seer. I don't see. Oh my God, this is going to happen, and this. No, I know human nature. When people are afraid, they panic. That's what people do, and then they go out like crazy. And Janie W said, Ed, if a vaccine could protect 99.5 from COVID, we would be happy. 0.5 and 1% of Americans would have died from COVID. Hold on a second, I'll read the rest of what she said. Why are they hiding? Yeah, you know what? I don't have the answer to that. L. Gibson, they admitted that wearing a mask won't protect you, only help from spreading it. Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, so again, that's if you're sick. So yeah, it's crazy. Thank you very much for the donation, and thank you for sharing that information. But again, people panicked and they went out and they went crazy. Okay, that's what people do. So instead of doing that, why don't people encourage each other to steadily get ready, be prepared? Being prepared is about peace of mind. It's about peace of mind. It makes you sleep very well at night because you go, hey, you know what? Whatever's going to happen, I'm ready for that. It's a really good feeling. Now, having my sister and my mom and stuff up here, I'm really looking forward to that because then again, they're here. This is the bug out location for us. There is no other place we're running off to. We're here. Okay. So, and then if Margie, has to bug out, obviously she's coming here. So, I'm looking forward to that. Hey, Joe, thank you for the great work you're doing. We appreciate you. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. And thank you very much for the donation as well. Tony Rayleigh, I hope I said that right. Changing the subject, what type of vacuum sealer would you recommend for canning jars? Thank you. I have, oh my God, okay. Thank you very much for the donation. And thank you for the question. I have my vacuum sealer. Let me go grab it real quick. Hold on, I'll be right back. All right, I have a food saver. That's the vacuum sealer I have. You can use it for vacuum sealing the bags, or you can use it for cans as well. So that is a really good one to have. I like it. I've never had any issues with my food saver, so I would recommend that. I absolutely would. So I hope that helps. That is such a great source of legit info. Love it, Beth. Well, thank you, Beth. I appreciate that. You know what, guys? The one thing, like I said, with me, I'm never going to BS you. I'm not looking, if you buy this product, it will save your life. You have to go get it. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. That's not who I am. I want people to help themselves. And for selfish reasons, and I'm going to tell you why selfish reasons, okay? If I can get you to prep, to help your family, to help yourself, number one, that's one less victim out there. And that's one less person that maybe down the road may be coming to try to take my stuff. Okay? So there's the selfishness of that. But I want you to survive. Right? That's what I want. JAIX, hold on a second. I don't know what the comment was because it was retracted. JAIX 8533. Thank you for the donation. I don't know why you retracted the comment, but thank you very much, for the donation. I do appreciate that. But again, I want people to help themselves. So if I can wake you up and you go, wow, I really should do something. It's just smart, especially when most people do nothing and are expecting somebody else to take care of them. That's not healthy. That's not good. If we can help ourselves and be smart and be ready, it's a good thing to do. It's just a really good thing to do. Terrence Parker Jr., Ed, how do you protect yourself? Oh, hold on a second. How do you protect yourself from this virus no longer wearing a mask? Again, that's an individual choice. I mean, like I said, Heather wears a mask wherever we go. Okay, I choose not to. That's my choice. I'm not sick, so and I know I don't have the virus because I who am I around realistically? And realistically, I don't go out all the time. It's not like every day I'm out hitting the streets. I mean, like today I was working here from home. I never left, never went out and about on the town or anything like that. I mean, I went down and talked to my neighbor to ask him to come down tomorrow or whenever he could, and he said he could come tomorrow to move the stone. But other than that, I mean, I was home all day. So it's not like every day I'm out running the streets and going to clubs and partying or anything like that. That's just not. But like I said, I just, again, I know that those masks are not protecting you from catching the virus. They're not. Okay. Now, if you have the virus, and I know if you're asymptomatic, and I know all the things that people are saying, but again, it's my choice. And so that's what I do. And like I said, I could sit here and I could lie to you. I could sit here and say, oh yes, I wear the mask everywhere I go. But that's not being honest. That's not me. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to tell you why I do it, why I feel like I don't need to, and that's that. So do I want to get it? No, I don't want to get it. But again, I'm not putting myself in situations where I'm in a large crowd. I'm not at the party with 200-300 people where I have no idea where they've been. Okay, I'm not going to do that. But hurricanes are way ahead of normal. There's been there's been more than usual. Full of Hope just said that. And you're right. Yeah, the hurricane season is like the one storm that they had was 11 days sooner. They had named that storm. Then there's the hurricane right now that's going to be hitting down through Florida and up the coast as well. So, But again, I want people to get ready. I want you to help yourselves. Be as prepared as you possibly can be. Do as much as you can, within reason, obviously, to get those things squared away. That's the way you should do it, John said time flies. Yeah, it does. It definitely does. I mean, you figure tomorrow is August 1st. It's amazing. Let's see. JAIX8533. How accurate are expiration dates on canned goods? Wondering if this stuff is good past the expiration date. Great question, and I have the answer for you. It's not an expiration date on the cans. It is a best by date. So what does that mean? What that means is that after, let's say the can is good, has the best by date for 2 years from now. Let's just use that as an example. So after 2 years, the food is still good as long as the can is not swollen or smells bad when you open it and stuff like that. The only thing is it starts to lose nutritional value. So yes, food can be eaten long after the expiration date. I actually ate, the pouch, you get the tuna fish in the pouch. It was 6 years past the date, 6 years. And I pulled it off and I ate it. 6 years past the date. I've eaten canned goods years and years and years after the best by date. I don't have a problem doing it. I've never had a problem doing that. Okay. So yes, canned goods will last. It's not an expiration date. See, people have the misconception that it's an expiration date, so they'll throw it out, and then what do? They go to the store and they buy more. You're throwing away perfectly good food. Doesn't make any kind of sense. So again, pay attention to that. Okay. So, follower of Jay said, ammo is the new gold. Well, in an SHTF event, it sure is. It sure is. Caveman Look has a question about batteries are 12 volt compared to 6 volt. Debbie Pence just said, okay, well, I'm sorry, I missed the question. I didn't see him say that. Ed, have you had any confrontations about not wearing a mask when you were out and about? Great question, Jay, and I'll answer that in a second. As far as batteries go, you can go with if you got 6 volt batteries, you can tie them together to make it a 12 volt. If you have 4 6 volts, you can make a 24 volt. 2 12 volts, you can make a 24 volt, or you can make it bigger to a 48 volt. You can do anything you want to do with that. So again, you have to basically determine what you want for your stuff and go with that as far as the voltage of the batteries goes. So you have to I have a 24 volt system. Okay. So, I mean, the batteries that I have now are 24-volt batteries. I still have my old batteries that I put into series to make them a 24. They were 6-volt batteries, and so I have 12 of them that can be used. And and if I have to have them as a backup, I'll use that too. So, that was a great question about has anybody confronted me for not wearing a mask? Now, I have been in the store, I've been in Walmart and other places. Like I said, I don't wear a mask. So I've got some looks. People look at me, and I just act as normal as I always do when I talk to people, and I'm always going to be pleasant. I'm always going to be nice. Generally, because of the way I look, people don't screw with me, to be honest with you. Austin Lever, I can't say your last, Lev, oh, I want to read your name here right. Levereault. PN1, you inspired my cabin YouTube channel. Oh, that's very cool, man. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you're doing that. That's a good thing to do, and thank you very much for the donation as well, and good luck with everything. But yeah, because of the way I look, people don't generally screw with me. They're not going to be confrontational with me, and it's just because of the way I carry myself, the way I look. I mean, I'm a big biker, so people generally don't screw with me. So, and that's on an everyday basis. Normally, once people get to know me and they know who I am and know how I am, they know I'm not some big mean dude. I'm not a mean dude. I'll do what I have to do when the time is necessary. But no, I've never had anybody confront me. And I've actually had talked about that with some other people, and we laughed about it. And they were like, yeah, people aren't going to screw with you. And I go, no, they're not going to come up and say a word. And they don't. So this being honest again, would solar survive a big hailstones? Full of hope. Good question. Well, it really would depend. It depends how big the hail was. And if you knew there was a monster storm coming, you would want to try to do something if you could to protect the solar panels, because they definitely could be damaged in a major hailstorm. Yes, they could absolutely be damaged. I think YouTube is messing with the feed. Oh, so some people are having issues? Hey, Nikki Johnson. Want to buy a solar generator to keep fridge during power outages. Power has gone out here several times, more than 4 hours at a time. No storms. No storms. What kind? Solar generators, you know what? I would actually almost, instead of a solar generator, because I really don't know. I had a buddy of mine had one. Okay, I'm going to, again, I'm always going to be honest. Buddy of mine went out and paid the money and got a solar generator. He said it did not work very well. So if you could go out and get yourself a few solar panels and get a few batteries, and they don't have to be top of the line heavy duty batteries, just something that you could, use to keep your, your fridge running or whatnot. That would be a good way to do it. That would be my advice to anybody. And in that way, again, in that situation, something happens, you have a way to charge up cell phones, laptops, or whatever, have some lights and stuff like that. It's even on a small scale. Like, obviously I have a fairly large solar system, okay? But, it's just for the heck of it, if I see you in Walmart without a face mask, I'll drink a green tea in front of you. Oh my God, that's funny. You go right ahead. And like I said, I don't go to Walmart that often. So, they don't say a freaking word now. They changed their policy. I talked about that they changed their policy. They're going to let anybody in. They're not going to be kind of confrontational with people, because there was some very heated confrontations. And so they decided to go ahead and let people spend their money at Walmart. And so there you go. But and that's happening more and more all over. So, but again, you have to. Today, Alaskan Prepper did a video on new solar panels and a battery. Oh, very cool. Jeremy J just said that. Propane versus gas, Jenny. Full of hope. Good question again. Guys, you got to come up with some great questions today. Propane would be better. Or, if you can, you get one that has both. You get a generator that can run both gas and propane. So if you are out of gas and you have a propane source, you can run that still. So my recommendation would be, if you can do it, get one that runs both. So that's probably the better way to go that way. So, yeah. One of North Shore preparedness videos on prepping has 39K views. Lori Austin just said, that's very cool. Nothing wrong with that. That's awesome. Yeah, it's my number one video that I have that really catapulted me from, what was I at? Oh, God. I was at like 12,000 subscribers, and I did a video about FEMA camps. And that video is still my number one video as far as views go. I got 1.7 million views on that video. So, yeah, it was wild. That was wild when that happened. And I went in a 1 month period, I went from 12,000 subscribers to like 22,000. It was absolutely crazy. And, then it's just continued to grow from there. So it's like anybody out there, guys, any of you guys out there doing videos, making videos, you are never going to know which video is going to be the one that goes viral. Okay. Try to put out good videos. If you get something that clicks and it connects and it goes viral, and again, that comes down to YouTube putting you out there. And, so I was really grateful that they put it out there like they did. And it took off and it went absolutely crazy. And it really, really catapulted me at that point. And then obviously the channel's grown since then. But, that was North Shore Preparedness. I went from 165 subs to 1.1 in a week. Astonishing. Yeah, and when it does that, you just go, wow. I mean, it's like, when you get that pop, and I call it a pop, when you get that pop like that, it's like, it's wild. I mean, it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling, so it really is. It's a wonderful, wonderful feeling. So what we're going to do right now, because we're getting closer to the end of the stream, I'm going to ask one more time. Here we're at 980 or 930 in the chat. We're at 716 on the thumbs up. I'm going to ask for another thumbs up really quickly, please, for show support for the channel. Again, it really does help with the algorithms as well. So thank you for doing that ahead of time. I do appreciate that. And again, if you are not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification to get all notifications as well. We are Legion because we are many. We're off-gridders and preppers. We're all over the country. We're all over the world. Where is everybody from tonight? We got people jumping the gun here already. So we got Eastern Kentucky, James. Jumping the gun, James. Central Ohio, Montreal, Canada, Marshall, Minnesota, Melbourne, Australia, Southern Illinois, Northeast Nevada, Oregon, Central Texas. We have Arizona, North Carolina, Washington, Iowa, Southwest Florida, Tampa area in Florida, Dunbury in the UK. We have London, we have California, Montana, Louisiana, Texas, Wisconsin, Portland, Oregon, Colorado, New York, Middle Tennessee, they're freaking jamming out, Ontario, Canada, Western Kentucky, Montana again, Covington, Georgia. We have Central Wisconsin, Southwest Ontario, Oregon, Mississippi, Missouri, Derby in the UK, Maryland, Sioux City, Iowa, Wisconsin, Detroit, Colorado, Mississippi, Raleigh, North Carolina. Love that area. Iowa, Tennessee, Palm Beach, Field of Dreams, Iowa. Very cool. Austin, Texas, Eugene, Oregon, Buffalo, Kentucky, San Francisco Bay. Very nice. Detroit, Trenton, New Jersey, Cape Cod, Nova Scotia in Canada, Joseph City in Arizona, Southern California, Charleston, South Carolina, Rockford, Illinois, Oakland, Tennessee, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Brooklyn, Connecticut, Florida, Miami. Frederick, Maryland, Southern California. We got Nevada, Raleigh, North Carolina again, Indiana, Pico Hills, New Mexico, Nashville, Tennessee. Love Nashville. Love the Grand Ole Opry. Love to go back down there again. Akron, Ohio, Connecticut, East Texas, New Orleans, Gavinsport, New York. So, guys, we're all over the place, all over the country, all over the world. We're a huge family. We're a huge network. I see Maine just popped up as well. We're all over, and we're a huge network of people. And again, if we work together and really, did that, there'd be no stopping us. There really wouldn't be, especially if we organize and networked. That's scary what we could accomplish, and we could make a big, big difference in things. We really could. So anyway, at this point, I want to thank all of my moderators for being here every week, every show, working tirelessly to keep the chat clean. I appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are awesome. So thank you very much for doing that. Marf is having a problems with D-Live. Only Silver just said that. Yeah, there's weird. I'm actually really pleasantly surprised we got the whole stream in tonight with no issues. Because that has not been the case lately. It really hasn't. So it's really nice to see. I am going to jump off, guys. So I want everybody to remember we are all in this together. We really, truly are. So let's think about it in that aspect, okay? Also remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones you love. Merry Christmas just said, you can have forgiveness today, repent and be baptized in Jesus' name. Acts 2:37-38, this is the only way to heaven. Thank you very much for the statement, and thank you very much for your donation as well. I do appreciate that. Remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really, really important that we tell everybody how we feel every day. Also remember STD. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, whatever you're trying to do, you work at it methodically and it gets done, okay? That's the way to do it. And stay positive, stay away from the negativity, and you're going to be fine. All right? I hope everybody has a great night. I will talk to you all later. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.